In this video, I am going to start training Poe on the figure 8. Now, like with the rest of my training, I look at desire first. I want to analyze all the different steps of the figure 8 before I start doing a lot of sequencing. How he does is going to dictate actually how far or how much sequencing I can do in this session. Since I've really never done a figure 8 with him, I am anticipating that I'm going to have some issues on the outside post. So I want to make sure that I automatically reward the outside post a lot during this training session. I'm going to use reining on the inside post so I get a nice rear end awareness. If I'm not getting it, I'm going to break and play, and I'm going to do just that until I have exactly what I want. And I'm going to reward, and I'm going to make sure I instill the good habits that I'm looking for in this sequence. Here again, as in all my healing, I don't always start in a sit. I feel that too many people always start in a sit, and what happens is the sit is not then rewarded enough, and my starts get sloppy. And I don't want a sloppy, ineffective start, inattentive start, because that's going to impact my entire ring performance or my entire training. So let me get Poe. Ready? Close. Close. Outside post. I want to make sure that I reward a lot. Well, I really like that. He really did a nice job on the focus on that. So I went ahead and I reinforced him. Why? Because I want to build a desire on doing that. Of course. Now, oh! Whoa, Poe! That was phenomenal! I'm going to stop and play with him for a little while because I want him to know how much I appreciated that effort. Whoa, into the cone. Good job. Good job. Wow, I'm really impressed with that. Out. Move yourself. Push. A little rough right there. I'm just going to reward him. I'm going to try that side again. Out. That dog. I want to play. Close. Good boy. Much nicer. Good boy. All right, so I like that one, and I like that one. So I am going to try to sequence two sides together and see what happens. Now, if I'm starting to sequence first thing and it's not what I want, I'm going to break and play. I'm not going to keep trying to sequence something that's not meeting my criteria. Out. Like that. Okay. Good one. Close. Yes, good boy. Good job. Wow. I am really impressed with this little dog right now. That was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I just loved it. All right, now if I want to start adding halts to this, I'm going to do one side and then I'm going to break into a halt. But I'm going to remind him what my halt is. Out. Good boy. Close. Sit. Yes, good boy. So I did my footwork. I said sit before I actually stopped. Gave him enough time to think about what he was doing. Beauty muss. I love it. I love it. We're going to stop there because it was so friggin' successful. I'm going to get card out. We're going to try card. I haven't done figure 8 work much with cards, so make sure you like and subscribe all the videos. Boys are counting on you. Equipment malfunction. Close. remember, when I'm heeling with Card, because he's a forager, and he's so friggin' driven, I have a treat in this hand. It's right there. My hand is by my side. When I want him to GET it, I simply just move my hand like this and say GET. And he's allowed to then get the treat, and then I reload. All right, so that's what you'll see me doing. That wasn't good. He kind of started thinking about getting a treat on his own. So we're going to go back and do that section. Good. Nice rear end awareness. Good boy. Not yet. If he tries to get this, I just simply just do that. Remind him he's not allowed to touch it until I say the GET word. Quit. Quit. He's not going to get reinforced until I get what I want. Uh-oh. Ah! His rear end awareness was really good on that one. Caught my shoe. Sit. Quit. Quit. No, I'm not giving you that treat. Yes. Since he's really nudging this hand a lot, he's not going to get that treat. Jeez. I can't wear these kind of shoes when I'm training you. Good. Good boy. There it is. Good boy. Plus, now with him, I can do a start with him. But I want to make sure I reinforce the start. Close. Good boy. There it is. I didn't like that start. That was my fault. Close. Close. Good boy. The other way. Close. Close. Good boy. Close. Nice attention. Very pretty. Very, very pretty guy. All right, settle. Here. Good. All right. Good boy. I want him leaving me just because I say all right. It's never acceptable for him to leave me unless I tell him that he can. Be careful. Good boy. Settle. So, there you have the figure eight. I will be posting another video that's kind of a bumping up the figure eight. That will give you some extra things and proofing and stuff like that, but that'll be a little bit further down the line. So for right now, make sure that when you're doing the figure eight, that you're getting what you want throughout the entire thing. Don't be worried about practicing the entire figure eight. If I do a lot of piecemeal and a lot of piecemeal sequencing and stuff, and I make sure I have the desire and the focus that I'm looking for, I'll get the figure eight when I'm in the ring. That's like a mute point. So think about your desire first. Think about the dog's focus and attitude. Do a lot of rewarding. That's what builds that desire and that gets that type of focus. All right, we'll see you next time. As I said before, make sure you like and subscribe these videos. The boys use it as extra reinforcement. They like your thumbs up. You ready? All right, with me. Good boy. Okay, your training tip for the day. Be proactive. Make sure before you ever get your dog out to train, you think about what you're going to train. You think about the possible problems that you're going to have. You take into account the location that you're in to make sure that it's not too overwhelming for your dog with what you have planned. If something fails or if something happens, be proactive, be prepared. what can happen in this training session. All right? If you're training and something happens and you don't know how to respond, stop and play with your dog. While you're playing, you can think about what just happened so that you can accommodate or you can change your plan to make sure that you're successful in your training, and your dog is learning something. If your dog is worried, apprehensive, lack of focus, you're not going to get your training done. So make sure that you are proactive when you go out to train. Have your training plan. Think about what can go wrong and have backups for when things do go wrong. All right. Make sure you like and subscribe to all these videos.